everybody. Welcome to the Fabulous Empty Nest with me, your host, Angie. Today is WIP Wellness Wednesday. I think what I'd like to do first is just welcome everybody. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us here at the Fabulous Empty Nest. We're just a bunch of people who really like yarn and crocheting and all the things. And if you've been coming back, I really appreciate you all. The support and love I've been getting has been just outstanding and really helps me just continue to drive forward. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. So on WIP Wednesday, basically what I'm going to do is just show you things that I'm working on. I have WIPs and then I have WIPs. The WIPs, I'm not even going to pull those out because that is just like, those are things that are not even in like I'm not even thinking about those things right now. The WIPs, those are things that I'm actually working on. And I have a few. So there are things that I want to get finished so I can start working on some of the vision board items, such as that granny square skirt. I am obsessed with it and I cannot wait to make it. I've already picked out the yarn. I'm doing some sketching to kind of figure out like how I'm going to do it, but it is it's big on my list. But one of the other things that I did start off of the 2026 vision board was the mandalas. And right now I'm just kind of playing, but I have this one finished. And then I have this one finished. And then I have these three other sizes. And of course I'll use other colors. I'm not just going to use these colors, but this is my favorite color. So as you can see, I started with it first. But I thought these came out really pretty and I'm really looking forward to playing with this more. The other thing that I've been working on, and let me see, where is it? Oh, here it is. The other thing that I've been working on, and I've already showed this to you. I showed this to you on Monday. This is the wrap sweater that I started making. There's no pattern for it. I just made granny squares and hooked them together. So, and then I was just looking at something on Pinterest and I was like, okay, I see it. They kind of did it like this and kind of like that. So there's really no pattern for this, but that's the back. So it has like a V back at the neckline. And then this is the front. So what happened, this is what always happens, is I changed my mind and I turned it into a little cardigan instead of a wrap sweater. So it's a little cropped cardigan and it's so cute. It's got the kind of the full sleeve, which I really like. I know a lot of people don't like the full sleeve because they get in the way and they snag on things. And I've had that happen, but I think they're kind of classy. And so this is, I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do. I was thinking of maybe putting a little toggle like right here to close it. I don't know. I'm driving down to Ukiah where the Hobby Lobby is tomorrow. And so I may just stop by the Hobby Lobby and see what kind of closures they have and may add that to this. And then I need to do some sort of trim on the sleeve, but that's about it. That's almost finished, and I'm going to wear it. I have this shawl that I've shown a couple of times and I'm going to keep showing it until I actually do something with it. I don't even remember what the yarn is. It might be Tea Time from Hobby. I put this ugly shell border on it. I don't like it. And I would wear this if I had a decent border on it. So I'm going to frog it and put fringe on it. And so I found some really pretty yarn that I'm going to add with this yarn and add just some super cool funky fringe. And it even has a little metallic in it. So I think that'll be really pretty. So this, I mean, I think this is really pretty. I think I'm dreading frogging this yarn because it's got a little bit of a halo to it. So I think that might be the barrier. And then my big project. So this is my big project. I'm going to post right here. I'm going to put a little picture of the sweater. I finally figured out how to do it to where you can see the whole sweater. It's called I don't know, granny square hooded sweater. I think that's what, it's a mandala granny hooded sweater. And I'm going to tell you, this pattern was a dream. It was really easy to follow. It's well written. It's great instructions. Everything about it is top notch. So I'm going to put it in the description if anybody's interested in making this sweater. So basically what you have to do is you have to make 5 sets of 4 granny squares. So this is my first set that I made. So I have 5. They're all exactly the same. So there's 5 of these. And then there's 5 of the, I'm sorry, 4. There's 4 of these, 4 of those. And then this is the 3rd one that I just finished this morning when I was at Starbucks. And so I need to make 3 more of these, and then I need to make 8 more in 2 different colors, 2 different color schemes. And once I'm done with that, I can start putting it together. But this is my big sweater for the spring or fall or for winter that I'm making for myself. I'm super excited because this was one of those where I had to actually follow directions. And so far so good. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And then a project that I'm wanting to make also, I think it was in December, I kind of became obsessed with making socks. So I have this pretty yarn here. I thought these would make beautiful socks. It's very soft. It's the Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Pill yarn. So I'm going to make some out of this. And then this is the Japanese fields. Oh, come on. There we go. Japanese fields by I Love This Yarn. And this really is that print. This works out so beautifully. And so these are the socks. These are mine. And, you know, these socks are so cushy on the inside and so warm, and they just fit so nice. The problem is they are slippery as can be, and you will fall on your rear end and bust your butt if you don't put the silicone stuff or whatever that stuff is on the bottom of your socks. So I ordered some because I'm not putting these babies on until I have that. I don't need to be breaking a hip or anything like that. So I'm definitely going to wait before I wear those. They're so slippery. I put them on and I stood up and my legs went whoop. So I was like, no. I did get some new yarn and I want to share those with you. And these kind of segue into Wellness Wednesday. For Christmas, my sister gave me a gift card for yarn.com. I had never been to yarn.com before. Didn't even know it existed. And so when I went there, I was a little disappointed at first because it was a lot of yarn that I probably wouldn't use. I tend to like 4-weight, Aran weight yarn. And they had a lot of like really small weight yarn. And I don't know, I was just kind of disappointed. But I kept looking and I'm glad I did because then I came across this. This is called Tandem. And it's just a little tiny ball of yarn. Oh boy. It's only, where is it? Oh, there it is. It's only 50 grams. So it's only 107 yards. Listen to this. It's 28% cotton, 28% viscose, 28% nylon, and 16% acrylic. But it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. And it was made in Italy. what I'd like to do is pair it with something really thin and make a beautiful shawl. And I was thinking about doing it with the Solomon's knot stitch. Back in the early 2000s, I made so many shawls with that stitch. It was kind of that time when, kind of like now, when Stevie Nicks was making just kind of a comeback, and everybody wanted a Stevie Nicks shawl. And so I was making shawls like you would not believe. And so I think this would be really beautiful in that. So this is what I have 7 balls of this, and I'm really excited to start that project. And then, where is it? Here it is. I bought 4 balls of this from our local yarn shop. This is called Louisa Harding Tula Tweed. And I'm going to crochet a cowl out of this for myself. This is not focusing very well. I have a beautiful scarf in this color that my son brought back to me from Scotland, and it's one of my absolute favorite scarves that I wear. And I thought, well, I love that so much, I might as well make myself something else in that color. And I mean, the color doesn't even look great on me, but I love that color so much. So that's what I'm doing with it, making myself a cowl. And then, so today, let's kind of segue into Wellness Wednesday. Today I woke up feeling pretty good, and I thought, I need to really start getting outside more and just getting some exercise and making a point of it every day. And so last night we went for a walk around the park and took the dog. And I mean, I get decent amount of exercise, but not like actively like I'm gonna go do this. It just kind of organically happens. But so today I said, I'm gonna walk downtown. So I threw on my trainers and my rain jacket and my hand warmers, and I put on my backpack and hoofed it downtown. And my first stop, I went to the Starbucks, and I just sat there and crocheted for a little while and worked on my, that's where I started this, and got myself a nice hot decaf latte and enjoyed that. And then from there, I went over and said hello to my friends over at this fun little restaurant and just peeked in and said hello, and then headed downtown, or down to Old Town, which is where all of our cool stores are. There's a bunch of thrift stores down there, and I went down and did some thrifting, and I picked up this. This is handspun cashmere. Normally it's $46 a skein, and I got this for $1.50. There was only one. So this was my little thrifted find today. I think I might have enough in here to make some hand warmers. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to try mix it with something else just to make it go a little further. But I think I have enough to make some hand warmers here. So that was a great find. And really what I was looking for at these wonderful antique and thrift stores, I was looking for yarn, which I found very, very little of. I did come across 2 beautiful granny square Afghans, but they were just too expensive, way too bougie for my price point. And then I was looking for a big wooden board to like roll dough on. I wanted to find like an antique one. And then I was also looking for something interesting, like a vase or something to put my crochet hooks in to display them. But I didn't find anything. But that's okay. Like I wasn't really like planning on buying a bunch of stuff, but it was just that's what I was looking for. If I happen to come across something that's inspiring, then I'll get it. I'd really like to find something from the 50s, 60s, or 70s. So I'm not just going to, I mean, I could throw them in jars, but I'm looking for something interesting. So I didn't find anything, but my goal is to do more thrifting this year. Back in, about 20 years ago when I still had kids at home, I did all my shopping for myself at thrift stores. Of course, I had 5 daughters, so I couldn't afford to buy myself nice things. I was too busy buying them nice things. But I thrifted all my clothing, and except for shoes and underwear. But everything else was thrifted. And I always had a super awesome wardrobe. And I just got out of the habit. Oh, I can't remember what my daughter calls it, but basically you get poisoned by the designer jeans and the fancy things, and I was just like, I I don't need all that stuff in my closet. Like, it makes me more nervous having all that stuff, because then I got to keep track of everything and hang it up and wash it and all the things. So I'm really trying to minimize my closet, and trying to thrift more. And I'm kind of excited about that too. So the other thing that I did when I was down in Old Town, there's this wonderful little store. And basically, it's just this little boutique where they make their own scents right in the store. Like, all their perfume, all their skincare, everything's made right there on site. And not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before, Christmas 2024, my niece bought me this beautiful little roll-on perfume. And I absolutely fell in love with it. It was called, I think, just like a creamy coconut or something like that. And it just smelled so fresh and yummy. And, there's some days where, like, I'm a Chanel wearer. I put a little spritz on every day. But there's some days where it's like, Chanel's just not appropriate. Like, if I'm going to the beach or heading to court or whatever, I don't necessarily need to be wearing Chanel. And so I just put a little bit of that on, and it just is something, it's really more for me. It's just a nice scent. So I went down there and I was talking to the lady about it. She's like, yeah, we have it over here. Well, then I tried all the scents, and they're all amazing. It's called Champagne. And again, it's very light and airy, and it just gives that little, it kind of reminds me of my grandma, but not in a grandma kind of way. Just, she always smelled so lovely. And so I bought that for myself. So a nice little self treat. And then I treated myself to lunch at my favorite little restaurant, and just ordered a little, they're called a burrito bowl. And so rather than having all the tortilla and everything, it's just a little tiny burrito in a bowl. And it was delicious, because I just found out that I love their tomatillo salsa that they make there. It's just delicious. So it was a lovely lunch, and then I hoofed it back home. And so from my house downtown and then back, it was about 3.7 miles. So I got a good little walk in today and saw lots of interesting things. That's one thing about where I live. There is always something interesting going on. And so that was a lot of fun, and just kind of cleared my head a little bit. It wasn't a sunny day. It was kind of cold and misty, but I really, really enjoyed my walk. And so I'm hoping that will inspire me to do that more, because I feel better if I get outside. I get a lot of my inspiration from long drives and walks. Like, anytime my husband takes me for like a Sunday drive, the creativity just oozes out of me. I've literally got to take a sketchbook with me, or some sort of notebook, because like, stuff just comes out of me when I'm riding in the redwoods, or we're driving by the beach or whatever. It's very inspiring for me. So that's how I felt today. I felt really inspired. It was nice to walk by all the storefronts and really see like what's in there, because when you drive by, you're not really looking at like what's really in there. So it just gave me an opportunity to see the city or the town in a different way. And so that was really nice. I just really enjoyed it. Yeah. So I think, the last thing I want to say is that the last few days have been really rough at work. And I work with people who have really high needs, who have a lot of vulnerabilities, who struggle. And oftentimes that can kind of bleed into me and into my life. And so it's really important that I stay mindful of that and take care of myself, so that I'm not putting other people's needs ahead of mine all the time, which I tend to do. And so today I was just like, no, today it's going to be the Angie day, and I'm going to go take care of myself and be by myself, you know, kind of refill the vessel and just have some quiet time. And I'm really glad that I did that. So my question for you is, what are you doing to take care of yourself and maintain, you know, that sense of wellness? I know for me, when I get overwhelmed and too many people are needing things from me, I get resentful, I get overtired, and I get sick. Those three things, those are the three things. Like I know when I'm done, I'm tapped out. And so um, it's kind of like I know that my gas tank's empty. And so I'm trying to learn to pay more attention to my gas tank. And when it's starting to get to about half to a quarter of a tank, I need to refill rather than waiting until it's totally in the red and then I have to have a meltdown. Like, I don't like doing that. So, um, just be more mindful, taking more time for myself. And I'm really glad I did that today. So I hope that all of you are having a wonderful Wednesday. And I will see you all back on Friday for Temperature Blanket Friday. I'm making some great progress on my temperature blanket. It's coming out really, really pretty. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you all. So I'll see you on Friday. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.